Hey, welcome back to 2DG. Hey, we're gonna do our wrap up. We're just gonna kind of recap the event, the Dark Lord Day 2017 event.
You saw the video already.
If you haven't, you should.
Yes.
It gives you a good idea of what it's like. The weather was actually decent this year.
Yeah. If you watch any of our videos in the past, this is our third year, so there's 3 total videos of the festival. The two prior, previously. Super wet, super cold, super gray, super gross. Just came up with that off the top of my head.
It was still super great though.
Yeah, fun. So this year, nice, warm, sunny, clear, a little windy. And it was around, 80 degrees or so?
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot.
The reason I bring that up, my brain didn't work. If you can, red hair, pale complexion, maybe a little red still. But anyway, so my mind was like, oh, it's always terrible and whatever. So I did not wear sunscreen for a good portion of the day, and it was awful. If you look closely, you'll see progressively in the video, I just get redder and redder, and it's just not good. But yeah, super burnt, super toasted. So that was the only negative part, I think.
Yeah,
from the whole experience.
So overall, another great festival. It really was, or release party. We'll get to that. We've had a few comments since, posting that video. And one of the comments, I forget the guy's name, and I'm not attacking him at all. He said that, having seen that, he knows that that's not something he wants to attend, and that's fine. I get that. In fact, I'm thinking about not attending next year.
Let's jump into that first. So, like I said, we've been 3 years now. We've got more beer, Dark Lord, regular, and then some variants still. But we've got more of that beer than we really, not that we necessarily know what to do with, because, obviously.
Yeah, we haven't tried to trade it yet.
Yeah.
We've given a couple away to some people that were important to us here and there.
Yeah, but we've got a ton of it. So, in that aspect, we don't really need to go back. Although I will say, like I said on camera, this one, base beer at least, was the best one, I think.
And it was different.
Yeah.
I still say it was smoky.
That's all you said. Anyway.
But that's because that's what was different this time. So I was impressed that it wasn't the same recipe.
Yeah. So the people there, this year it seemed like there were less of them. I said that already on the review, or the recap video that you posted. And it just seems like it was a different environment this time.
Yeah, they kind of had a pre-staging area this year, and it really seemed to change the line. Because standing in line is usually a big deal. There are people who go to this thing year after year, never go to the festival. They just share with people in line. They set up tents and all that.
They'll go in there to get their beer. And then
No, some of them don't ever go in. I heard one guy talking, and he'd been there, I don't know how many years, and he's never gone in. He would just bottle share in line.
Okay.
He was one of that one tent that's always in that same spot. I think it was right there, but that's cool too.
Yeah.
You get to try a lot of neat stuff that you may not normally get access to.
Yeah, a lot of times it'll be like that. So like you said, yeah, this year they changed it up. There was a pre-staging area. Basically, they herded us in there like cattle. But
it wasn't bad.
No, there was food. Remember the food truck. There was coffee from Dark Matter, which was, to be honest, a little underwhelming.
It was. I'm going to go to Dark Matter.
I'm
going to go to Dark Matter and try it fresh, because I know that sat in that container for quite some time. They just poured off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. I was surprised.
Yeah. There was a funny stuff just came back to me. You'll probably have to bleep this out like you did on the other video, which admittedly I thought was pretty funny. But anyway, so we tried a couple of things while we were herded there like cattle before we got through into the main part. One of the funnier parts of it, there's a guy standing maybe 2 feet to the right of where we were, and he had some beer. I think it was from Chicago as well. I can't remember the brewery. I think it was from Microphone, actually. They are out of Chicago, I believe. So anyway, he holds up the bottle real high above his head, and he's like, anybody want to try any of this New England shit?
This New England style shit?
Yeah, just, get on the hype train. It was hilarious.
He was really good. In fact, he was doing so well at promoting his little beer, which actually was a big beer.
Yeah.
That the guy, I don't know if the guy was with him or just standing
beside him.
Just
a random guy.
But he's like, dude, he goes,
pimp my beer.
Pimp my beer. So he's holding that bottle and he's looking at it and reading off. Well, I didn't remember.
He's like, I forget where it was from, but he holds up. Does anybody want any of this California shit? You have to be in a country club to get this.
It was a sour,
Yeah.
and actually I think it was from Oregon, but he's
I think it was California, but
no, I think it wasn't Oregon.
I think it was California.
It was Oregon.
California.
I looked. It was Oregon.
You didn't look.
I did.
Anyway, but that was hilarious. So
It was. That guy was pretty cool. I liked that. That was funny. Did smell a little bit of the reefer.
Yeah, there was
this
definitely
year.
some of that, which is fine. Whatever. I don't care.
I don't care. I just don't want to see the festival get screwed, because it is there. Because in Indiana, it's not legal in any form, fashion at all. Maybe medical now.
Yeah, I think medical was starting to get pushed through. I don't know the
I don't
status
think
of
it's
it.
gone through. I think Purdue's doing tests on hemp,
Anyway,
industrial hemp.
we're getting a little off topic, but so we get in. We were all Group A, but before the festival, they had said when we bought the tickets that it was a first come first serve on variants. About 2 weeks before the festival, maybe a little longer than that, they said that it was randomized. So that kind of sucked for earlier people. For Group D and E, I mean, they were ecstatic for the most part. But anyway, so knowing that, we didn't get in line as soon as we should. He had to get cash from the ATM, which, by the way, did they charge you a stupid fee for withdrawing?
I don't think so.
Cool.
I think it was $3, which I considered reasonable for what I needed it. I wanted it.
Yeah. So while he was doing that, we got some beer. I got Mother of Dreadnought, which is a barrel-aged, cracking open a beer, a barrel-aged version of Dreadnought IPA. Would you get Crack the Sky?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Did you get anything? No, that wasn't tapped.
For your first beer. Anyway.
When we went into the festival.
Yeah, whatever your dad got.
I don't know if I got any, did I? I don't even know what I got.
Anyway, so we got a couple beers. Then we went and got in line. It moved really quickly, which was kind of, I mean, not necessarily surprising, but it was nice. And granted, every other year I've been in line, I've been severely intoxicated. So this is kind of cool, being sober. Anyway, so we're going through the line, and I think in that line we got a pour of Bourbon County Rare, which was nice. Super generous guy. Don't know his name, and we didn't get him on camera. But anyway, so we got that, and we got in line, went through the brewery, and there really isn't that much going on in there during this day. It's basically just a ton of pallets full of the beer, lots of bags. We did hear that before we got in line to look for all the green wax, because this year was the green wax.
Yeah, you could get a variant.
Yeah.
Or you could get stuck with some previous year beers. And, they were talking like 15 and 16, I think, mostly.
Yeah.
And we have those. We have plenty of those. We don't want that.
So we looked to see if they were all green, and we all got a variant. Like we recapped already. I got the Marta again, which is the Guajillo chili pepper variant, which is fine.
I got Ronaldo again.
We got 2 Ronaldos, and then the Good Luck Charm got French Vanilla Militia again. So which is cool because we still haven't even reviewed that one yet from last year.
Which reminds me, somebody wants us to do a side by side, and it's not. We've talked about it. It's not going to happen. Those are special beers, and we don't want to just be out of it that quick.
I appreciate the suggestion. If you want to send us one, we can do that. But
If we had more, we would.
Yeah.
But I mean, we can do a 15, 16, 17 lineup. We can, we can do some stuff, but we think those 2 variants will stand on their own. Videos.
So after that, they left to go drop the beer off, so we didn't have to carry 40 pounds of beer.
Something we decided to do differently this year. We went back and dropped the beer off.
And that was the crucial time where my skin started to blister.
Which I will say, by the way, the hotel, we got back and there were people that hadn't even gone to the festival yet. And they're just sitting there and they're just getting ready to leave. It was so weird because we're always trying to get there right away.
Well, last night we had watched I don't remember the guy's channel, whatever. To be honest, he was a little boring, but this was his first year going, and he basically said, "Yeah, don't even worry about getting there till like 30 minutes before your group," because he didn't want to start drinking that early. You got to know that going in.
Yeah. We did a good job pacing ourselves this year.
Yeah. So
some of us.
Well, somebody got a little drunk, but it was only towards the end, and she almost fought a group of people. That's fine. It didn't really happen. But, no, so I was fully aware of everything this year, which was kind of cool, first for me. We didn't stay as late as I'd hoped, mostly because it was super hot, super burned, and just kind of didn't care anymore. So the main goal was they tap variants as they go through the day. Well, those were gone in minutes. The lines were so long, and unless you were in the first 25, 50 people, you weren't getting
I really wanted to try chemtrail mix really bad. So if you've tasted it, let us know about it, please. And then I also wanted to try that, man, I can't remember what it was.
He's not dancing, that's how he thinks.
Uh,
You look that up.
I will.
So from there, once they got the stuff back, it was basically just a walk around, drink what we could, try what we could. We ate, and then we'll leave in shortly thereafter. That's just a quick thing. So what I did want to say was the support for our tiny channel was actually really cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
We appreciate that.
Yeah, a lot more than I anticipated. Go ahead.
Dioscuro.
How
It's
bad
that-
did you butcher that?
It's that one aged in Ardbeg barrels.
What are Ardbeg barrels?
I looked it up and it was, what do you remember? It was like a,
No, sorry.
it was like a, was it a Spanish or a, what's the Portuguese whiskey or something? I don't know. It sounded really good when I looked it up, so I knew I wanted to get it. I'll look it up again. Except stupid iPhone likes to autocorrect. What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's a single malt.
Oh, that's not Spanish.
You sure?
It's Irish. It's or I forget how you pronounce it.
It's Scottish.
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 Yeah, whatever. It's Islay or
My apologies.
Islay or whatever the hell. I don't know, but
I've been to
Spanish?
England, but I've not been to Scotland.
same thing. They didn't want to be independent. They voted.
Well, I'm not gonna. No, I understand.
He was way wrong. That's funny. Anyway,
I do apologize. But anyway, it sounded really good, and I know that one was really small numbers, so I really wanted to try that. If you tasted that one, let us know, because I know somebody got it. Speaking of,
go ahead.
we'd mentioned earlier that it was a little bit different this year, we thought. Now, granted, it was the first year that we've gone that had nice weather, so obviously it was going to be a little different in that aspect. But the beard was a little more rare this year. And I'm going to be, hey, it's 2DG. I'm going to sound real douchey. But it was a little more, I think the phrase I was using was it was a little more juggalo at times.
Jesus.
Without the makeup.
You don't know what Juggalo is. Please entertain yourself and go.
And I don't mind that. I like all kinds of, people and all kinds of music. But it just seemed like the hipsters weren't in full force this year. And I know that they're probably moved on to something else.
Well, that and some people can't justify the ticket price, which is fine. I think that maybe has something to do with the fact you still have to pay for beer when you get in there, which that part bugs me, but it's not something that's not the reason we're not going to go probably next year.
No, it's not.
Which we did come to a decision, I think, for the most part.
Well, and it is difficult after you go. It's like, we're not going to go. We've got enough of this stuff. But then you go and you're like, we tried Pliny. We tried, we got some more Bright without Nelson this time. And, we tried quite a few things again or for the first time. And it was, that's the attraction. People are so generous. You're just walking around and this guy, you see this guy had Pliny. They go boom like this. And the guy's like, no problem.
I think truthfully he's probably just sick of carrying the bottle. Which, to be fair, that is kind of funny. There were some guys that came up and, you want to try this? Yeah, here, just take it.
Yeah, there was a lot this year.
I appreciate the generosity, but also I can appreciate the laziness.
There was a lot this year of people just wanting to ditch their bottle.
Keep talking. I'm just reading this.
Well, but all in all, it was a great festival. It was hot. We saw some funny stuff. We saw some cool people.
Oh, yeah. That's something else I wanted to mention. This guy had probably my favorite shirt of all time.
Oh, yeah. Wish we would have got a photo of
Yeah.
this.
So some picture of a random dude. I don't know if this was real. If it was, fantastic. Kind of sucks for you, but it's funny. If not, it was just overall funny. Some random picture looks like he pulled it off of Facebook or something. And on the bottom, it said, "This man fucked my wife." Hilarious. I don't know the context of it at all.
I wish we would have
But-
found him again because
Yeah.
we would have seen if he wanted to have a camera and we would have put it on there and let him go full blast if it was real.
Other than the people supporting our channel and stuff, that was probably the funniest thing
Yeah.
and the best part.
Now the taps this year, I want to say, I was hoping the first year we went, there was some Hill Farmstead. We were hoping for a repeat, something like that, some
Something
rarer things. There were some collabs. I wish I would have tried that ATG one. The
God, what was the name?
something about nuts
Nuts
and
to
butts,
butts.
or something like that. Nuts to nuts and butts. I don't know.
Not a huge fan of their beer overall, but they are creative with names.
I've had some of theirs that are really good, and I've had some that are mediocre. So I'm always willing to give ATG a shake. But overall, it was dominated by Three Floyd's beers.
Shouldn't necessarily be a surprise, but when you're having a festival like that, it'd be kind of cool to have stuff that you can't generally just purchase there.
However, they're drawing people from all over the country and the world sometimes for a festival. And these people, I mean, we just happen to live where you can get it. But there's 3 states that you can actually get Three Floyds in?
Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and I want to say...
I've seen it in Kentucky.
Yeah, so Kentucky.
But, so, it's tiny distribution. So for these people who are coming in from guy from Houston, sorry we didn't meet up, man, because I really want to try that Jester King.
And we just wanted to see you. He's rude.
What? Yeah, we did, but
He's rude. It's fine.
anyway, now I'm going to feel guilty about that. But, yeah, so for the people who are flying in from long distance, this is a bonus because they got to try some great stuff. We tried a new one. It was a New England style.
This one.
No.
Yes.
But it was a New England style that Three Floyds did. It was okay. It wasn't. It didn't nail the style. It was a good beer, but it didn't nail the style.
Yeah, there were some people. So I got to try Tropicalia from Creature Comforts. They're out of Georgia, which I was super excited about. It was pretty good. That one's been on my list, my personal list, for a while. So that was cool to have. They had some other local guys. I know there was a couple of beers that we had from different breweries that were pretty good. I don't remember.
I know, it's sad.
Now, that being said, since Three Floyds was featuring themselves a lot, there was some excellent stuff. So they had a pineapple sour that was really good.
Yeah, that was really good. The mirror.
Nikki, do you remember what that
Molten
one was?
Mirror.
Molten Mirrors. There
That
you
was
go.
really
That was
good.
delicious.
But then it was outshined when they put the Skull on. I love Skull. That is a
2016
bomb
version.
beer. I love it.
He spilled it on a shirt. That's how much he loved it. I forgot. That was hilarious. I watched him as they going in and out. That was funny.
Yeah.
I laughed.
I love Skull. It's a sour. Then it's sour. It's great.
They had your favorite, was it the Gin Barrel Permanent Funeral?
Yes.
That was good.
They did not have, though, the Gin Barrel. Was that the one? What was that? That was the one. Anyway, they did not have my all-time favorite from Three Floyds, the Alpha Knot, which I was really disappointed. At first I thought I saw it and I got excited, and then I was disappointed.
They didn't have Bloobs either.
No, I would have loved to try that, because
Yeah.
I've never tried that, I don't think. I don't think we ever had that, did we?
No, because they released that before last year's festival. I think it was like day before, or a couple days before.
I was just thinking at the brew pub if we'd ever
No.
stumbled on them. I don't think we had.
No, I
so.
would have remembered.
There were a few that, it was great because there were things that we hadn't even tried from Three Floyds being in the area. I mean, relatively in the area. So, it was neat that they were there.
One of the breweries that I've been looking for a little while, and they're relatively close, is Hoofhearted. Funny. But thanks to Dennis and Rochelle from Columbus, Ohio, and it was kind of cool. So on the video they said that, and then his shirt said Columbus or said Ohio. It's hilarious. I didn't even realize it in the moment. So they let us try some Conky Dong, which is one of the ones I've actually been looking for. So I was pretty happy about that, and that was really
it was
good too. Also cool with him in particular is he was the one we ended up seeing more throughout the day.
Yeah,
actually
you just
hunted us
missiles zoom
down.
right
Yeah,
in and
so-
out. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, we talked about Jackie O's, which I believe, sir, you said that was your favorite brewery at the moment.
I could see why.
Yeah, so they do excellent barrel-aged stuff, more well-known for their dark beers and that kind of thing. But they're also out of Ohio, and again, close enough that I wish we could go, but I also wish they got it here.
That's another one we need to do as a Columbus trip for
Yeah.
sure.
But anyway, so he actually hunted us down throughout the festival and just came up with a bottle of Jack Eos. I was like, here, try this. I was like, absolutely. Thank you. Again.
I mean, variations. I mean,
Yeah.
throughout the day. Try this one from them. Try this one
Yeah.
from them.
Just out of nowhere, too.
God.
So that was.
And
that
they
was
were
awesome.
all stellar. I really, really enjoyed every one of them.
Yeah.
So, we got to go.
Yeah.
And I personally would not have known about them probably if it weren't for Dennis. So, thanks a lot. That was.
I've told you about him, but that's fine.
that was
Ever. No, yeah. So like we said, throughout the entire festival, tons of support from them, from Griff. Thank you, man, being on camera, and then
and he was close by.
Yeah,
He was a local.
Gary.
Yeah.
So Ohio, Gary,
Chicago.
Yeah, Tom from north of Chicago. That was the only.
There was another guy, and I don't remember his name, but he was west of Chicago. That was cool too.
Yeah.
And I wish we would have met you from Houston, and all of you. That'd have been great. I wish we could all be there.
One of the comments on the video that I saw was, "Yeah, I was just gonna look for a backwards Cubs hat, and then there was literally thousands of them there." So that was.
Yeah. Next year might not be that way, but
Look for the facial hair; it'll probably still be there.
Yeah. So all in all, though, it was a good festival.
Yeah, really good. Nice to remember all of it. Again, right at this moment, like I said, we probably won't be attending next year. Now, who knows what's going to happen? There's basically a full year until that point.
And one of the things I wanted to kind of mention too, we were talking to Taylor, who we met at the KBS release, and we kind of had the same point of view that we kind of feel bad when we go to this and everybody's bringing these great bottles and they're sharing them, and we don't really bring much because, well, my point is that people who come in, they bring their local great brewery. And they want to share it with everybody and let everybody taste that. Well, Three Floyds is our local great brewery.
They're 2 hours away.
And I feel it would be a bit redundant to bring Three Floyds to the Three Floyds event, when you can just walk up and buy most of it. I know some people would love to have this zombie dust or something, but it was there. They even had a variant of zombie dust there. So
It's collaboration.
collab, yeah. So that was kind of our mindset, and I always feel bad because it's like, what can we bring that everyone hasn't seen already?
Because our
isn't
local
going to
guys, a lot of them don't bottle or can that much.
Our very local guys.
Yeah, in our city, town area. The one that does, their stuff's not bad. Some of it's good, but none of it's
Stellar. Yeah.
special, that kind of thing.
So yeah, when we're talking about something, if we have something we want to brag on, it's gonna be Three Floyds.
As you've probably noticed by now.
At this point, I would consider bragging on Upland Sour program. They're doing really well with that, and I did see some there. I was really pleased to see that. I saw some Upland Sour bottles throughout the event, so I was glad that they were permeating, giving people a chance to taste it. But yeah, I mean, Three Floyds is our dominant brewery for us in the area, and KBS founders, they ship all over anymore practically. So I was a little surprised this year that you could buy KBS in the store so easily.
I wouldn't say it was necessarily easily.
Well, it was where I live, and I was, I thought it used to be something that going there to get it was a big deal. You got it, so that was something you could easily share. But now I feel like, gosh, we got it, and a week later, All Things Beer 501 or whatever, he's reviewing it in Oakland, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know he wasn't there. How did he get it so quick? So, that wasn't something I wanted to bring. We got some Bo and Luke variants, but
We're still not going to get into those.
I did see some Bo and Luke there. I was surprised with that. That was the first place we ever had it. I
Yep.
liked it, but it's not the same caliber as what you're there for. I mean, Dark Lord smokes that thing. Frankly, the Jack Yo's was smoking it. So, I feel a little bad about that. So at least if I go to an event that's further away, I can pack up some Dark Lord and maybe share that. So, if I end up at Cigar City, I got to look again. I don't remember if they actually do bottle share. I was thinking maybe they don't. But, or whatever it is. Oh, ticked me off too. I saw Hanapu so many times, and I didn't get to taste it. The guy from Houston, Michael Scott,
Either or.
The Office. Anyway, he'd commented. I think he did, or he had it, or whatever. And I was like, dude, at least you scored. I know you said you got some variants that you actually, you weren't intending to get, that you won somehow. I don't know what razzle is, or if that was a typo for raffle or what, but anyway. But you got to do Hanapu. Maybe you've had that before. We haven't. I was really disappointed that I didn't get to try that.
There's a couple still on the bucket list that...
Yeah, which is good. I mean, to have a bucket list still. I saw some pseudo-sue and stuff like that floating around. The pseudo-sue didn't excite me much, but I thought I saw a king that I would like to.
I saw a lot of the Alchemist.
Mm.
The Crusher, Heavy
ticked me
Topper,
off.
Obviously.
Would have liked to try that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good event. You get to try stuff you don't normally get to try. But if you're like us, you didn't kill off your entire whale list, so you still got something to hunt for. We probably should wrap this up. It's been going a little long. We just want to say thank you to everybody who came up and talked to us. Thank you to everybody who was there. That was just so pleasant. I mean, never saw any trouble. Guy who was wasted, and we're glad you got your stuff back. I hope you made it home.
Almost fought people. Well, one of us did.
Because, we might as well tell the story, right? This dude you could see it a mile away. This guy was just wasted. And he's carrying around, he grabbed, because you got maintenance people, or whatever you call it, going around all day emptying trash with this just full of bottles. They'd pick them up, put them in there, these big bags. This guy picked up this big bag, or garbage bag full of bottles, and he's walking up to this fence line. We can just see him barely. I don't know how he stayed upright. And he's got his bag of Dark Lord too. And he goes up there and he throws that bag down, and he puts his bag down, and then he staggers away and he's trying to get on his phone. And I'm not kidding, this guy was smashed. But we're like, oh my God, he left his Dark Lord. Now immediately we see some people kind of eyeballing it. And you can't tell for sure if they're looking at, hey.
I think they had good intentions, but some of us...
But you never know. And finally, we track down the guy. Ann walks over and says, hey! And I'm going, he's drunk. He could swing. You don't know. But, real nice guy. Seemed like a nice guy anyway.
He didn't know who he was.
He's like, hey, you left your Dark Lord up there. Go get it now. And he went up and he got it. And then somebody helped him put it in his backpack so he wouldn't lose it. And that was great. We really that guy was a good guy too.
Yeah.
And, but as we're leaving, man, we see him staggering down the street, and I, again, don't know how he stayed upright, but I lost sight of him. I hope he made it where he was going. Be careful.
Sure he did. Anyway, went a little...
I really felt for that guy.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know some stories maybe that you had, stuff you saw, stuff you tried, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know what else we missed.
Yeah, all right. 2DG.
See ya.